So I was interrupted. I want to continue this philosophical challenge of not believing everything that people tell you. So let's look at visa. So you might say, oh, I can't go to America. I can't leave my country because I don't have a visa. I don't have a passport. Man, let's look at history. For 5,000 years, people didn't have visas. People didn't have passports. Now, I'm not telling you to go try to board an airplane without a visa, without a passport. I'm not telling you that. As a matter of fact, I'm not even telling you to don't try to get a visa and passport. But what I'm trying to tell you is don't give it so much power. Think out of the box. You got to think out of the box, man. The world is not as complicated as you're making it. A lot of times we're giving things too much power. Does a passport have power? Yes, it does. But it's not all powerful. In the big picture of things, 95% of people that have lived didn't have a visa, didn't have a passport, and they were able to travel. You got to think out of the box, man. Because if you don't think out of the box, matter of fact, it's interesting because in America there's this big push against anti-immigration push in America. It's very interesting because you got these Republicans who are like, we hate these people coming over here to our country. They're all immigrants. All the people who are arguing against immigration, they're all immigrants. Every single one of them are immigrants, okay? Because I don't see any Native American Republicans. So they're all immigrants. 2 or 3, 4 generation, I don't know. But none of them are natives of America. But the interesting thing is that there's this big push against immigration. And then you have these Latin Americans that are like looking at America like they're laughing at us. And they're still coming to the border in very large numbers. I mean, they're jumping on these trains. They're calling them caravans, right? They're jumping on these trains and they're caravanning to the border. Very, very interesting because, Donald Trump, to build a wall. They're cutting the wall. They're cutting through the wall. But it is very interesting because, I live in a town where there's a lot of illegal immigrants, a lot. And every day I see more and more illegal immigrants. And it's funny because you have these people on these trains and in the midst of Donald Trump and the Republicans putting up all these laws separating children from their mommies and daddies. Man, I'm reading about children being molested. I'm reading about all kinds of horrible things that are happening to these immigrants. And in the midst of all these horrible things, you got people in Latin America that are saying, okay, we're still coming. We're still coming. And every day I'm seeing more and more immigrants in America that don't have green cards. But the point is not about immigration. The point is that these immigrants could say, oh, I can't go to America because of the laws, the anti-immigration laws. They could give these words, these laws, more power. They can give these philosophical views more power, and they could stay where they are. They could stay in Central America or Mexico or wherever they're coming from. But some of these people, they look and they say, oh, Trump, Donald Trump, okay, anti-immigration laws, okay, wall, okay, I'm still coming to America. And that is because, look at the history. If you look at history, the irony about the whole situation is I see these people on the internet, on Facebook, and you see these people who are immigrants telling these dark people, go back to where you came from. And I'm just laughing because I'm like, well, shit, this is where they come from. This is where they come from. California. Bro, sis, look at the names of the cities. San Francisco, Santa Barbara, Los Angeles. California was freaking Mexico, dude. It's Mexico. This is where they come from. If you want them to go back to where they came from, then they need to go back to They need to go back to California. They need to go back to Arizona. They need to go back to New Mexico. They need to go back. This is where they're from. Go back to where you came from. Hey, if you look at the history, this is where they came from. But the whole point is that these people can empower these words. They can empower that I need a visa. They can empower that I need a passport. They can empower that I need to go through the immigration system. Yet and still, there's hundreds and thousands of these people coming to America because they don't empower those words. They don't empower Donald Trump. They just look at him and say, okay, you got anti-immigration law. I saw this one guy with a MAGA hat on the internet the other day, and it said Mexicans getting across the border or something like that. MAGA meant Mexicans crossing the border. It was cute, man. It was cute. You can't keep Mexicans out, is what the MAGA hat meant. They changed the meaning of the word MAGA. And so, anyways, be careful how you empower words. You might say, I don't have any money because they won't give me a job. They won't give me a job. Oh, the government won't give me a job. And then you listen to the government. The government's like, oh, what we need to do is we need to create jobs. Really? Are you really listening to this madness? Are you really believing this madness? Let's look at history. How many years in the last 5,000 years did the government create jobs? Think about that, man. The government is not here to create jobs, man. The government's here to do the things that we won't do. They're here to make roads, make gutters, make sewage systems. You know, the government is here for the better good of everybody, okay? The government's not here to make jobs. Jobs are for you to make. You're supposed to make a job. You're supposed to walk outside, look at what needs to be done. What needs to be done? Your neighbor's yard is all tore up from the floor up. So create some type of job where you go around cleaning up people's yards, or you go around mowing their lawns, or you go around trimming their trees. Or maybe you look around you and you see, oh man, everybody's dying of cancer. So you create a business that treats cancer. Look and see where there's a problem and create a business to solve the problem. And you create jobs. You create jobs and put people to work to cure the cancer, to clean your neighbor's yard, to fill in the potholes on the street. Where is there a problem? Where is there a problem? Wherever there's a problem, if there's people going into schools, shooting up schools, and hey, create a security service where you're going to go and get contracts from all these schools, and you're going to protect the school from people going onto the school campuses and shooting up the kids. I'm going to start this video over. I'm going to do a part 3.